Shin Dong-hyuk grew up without ever knowing what a normal life looked like. He had never seen cities, never knew that freedom existed beyond barbed wire because his entire world was made up of guards, hunger, and fear. He was born in a place from which there was no escape, North Korea's Camp 14, one of the most secretive and brutal political prison camps in the country. It's 5:30 a.m. Prisoners wake up in a primitive barracks where up to 30 people sleep in a single room. It's a filthy, poorly heated space with bare floors and crude sleeping areas. People spend the night in the same clothes they'll wear to work because most of them have nothing else. Many don't even have proper underwear, soap, or socks, and the cold and unsanitary conditions are simply part of everyday life. Already at this point, everything depends on which type of camp a person has been sent to, because in North Korea there are at least two main types of camps, and the difference between them defines the entire fate of the prisoner. The first type is kyohwaso, so-called re-education camps, which are technically part of the official punishment system. These are for people the regime still considers correctable, those accused of actions the state defines as violations of order. The second type is kwanliso, political prison camps. These are not just for offenders, but for people considered politically dangerous or disloyal. However, here punishment often extends beyond the individual. Entire families can be sent to these camps, which is why you find not just working-age men, but also women, elderly people, and children who have done nothing themselves. According to human rights organizations, there are currently 4 such camps in operation, including camps 14, 16, 18, and 25, all located in isolated mountainous regions. While kyohwaso camps at least create the appearance of a sentence with a defined term and some kind of formal process, kwanliso camps are something else entirely. These are places of disappearance where people are effectively erased from society and can spend an entire lifetime with no chance of release. After the morning roll call, prisoners receive breakfast. But this isn't food meant to sustain a human being. It's the bare minimum of calories. Usually, it's a few spoonfuls of rice, a thin corn porridge, corn mixed with a broth made from dried radish leaves, some cabbage, and in rare cases, a few beans. In the harshest political camps, the ration can be reduced to a single small bowl of corn and nothing else. This is nowhere near enough for people who are about to spend 12, 14, sometimes even 16 hours doing heavy physical labor. Constant hunger drives prisoners to look for food anywhere they can. They catch rats, frogs, snakes, and insects, search for undigested grains and animal waste, steal corn from the fields, risking their lives for just a few extra grams of food. But hunger is only the beginning. Right after this minimal ration, there is no rest, only a full day of labor ahead. By 8 a.m., prisoners are already being marched out and assigned to different work sites, depending on the type of camp, their gender, age, physical condition, and the needs of the system. Some are sent to coal mines, others to gold or gypsum mines, some to fields where they grow corn, potatoes, and beans. Others are assigned to logging or to brick, cement, or glass production, textile workshops, or farms. In some camps, there are even small-scale production facilities. For example, workshops producing strong alcohol, where grain and acorn-based drinks are exported, while snake-infused liquor is made for the guards. All of this exists within a single controlled area that can span hundreds of square kilometers. It's a closed-off region, usually set in a valley surrounded by mountains, and from the outside, it can look almost like an ordinary rural area. One part consists of barracks, or camp villages, where prisoners and sometimes their families live. Another contains the work zones, mines, quarries, fields, and industrial sites. There are also storage facilities, food distribution points, workshops, administrative buildings, and basic medical units. Some camps are even connected to railways to transport coal, timber, and agricultural goods out of the camp. Work goes on for hours, with practically no rest, under constant surveillance and pressure to meet production quotas. In some camps, the workday runs from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m., and sometimes even longer. Prisoners are organized into brigades, and performance is measured collectively, not individually. That means if one person becomes weak, falls ill, fails to meet the quota, or simply can't continue, the consequences fall on the entire group. The same system applies to children. From the age of 6, camp children are sent to school and immediately put to work. They collect firewood, clear snow, and clean out latrines. School runs 7 days a week. Children are taught basic reading, writing, and arithmetic, but are also required to write confessions about their own mistakes each day. Most of the time, however, is dedicated to ideological indoctrination. While some prisoners work in the fields, others in the mines, and children attend camp schools, the entire area remains under tight control by the guards. The camps are surrounded by multiple layers of electrified barbed wire fences with patrol paths running between them. Watchtowers, guard barracks, and observation posts line the perimeter. Entry is only possible through a few strictly controlled access points, over bridges, mountain passes, or designated roads. But control doesn't stop at the perimeter. Guards are everywhere, in living areas, at work sites, during roll calls, meetings, and punishments. Armed guards monitor every movement, oversee every section, and hold near absolute authority. Even the guards themselves are carefully selected. They must have the right background. No relatives with criminal records, strong physical condition, and complete loyalty to the system. At 6 p.m., the workday ends. After a short meal and returning to the camp, the disciplinary phase begins. Prisoners are gathered for criticism and self-criticism sessions, where each person must publicly admit their faults, repent for not working hard enough, and then criticize others. If someone refuses to confess, they are pressured until they break. After that come ideological sessions. In some of the strictest zones, prisoners are no longer considered reformable, so there is no ideology at all. But where these sessions do take place, even in total exhaustion, prisoners are required to listen to and memorize the words of the leaders. And only late at night, around 10 p.m., after another round of roll calls and inspections, people are sent back to the barracks, only to repeat everything again a few hours later. This is the system in which Shin grew up. In 2005, he and another prisoner attempted to escape. Between them and freedom stood only an electrified fence, and guards authorized to shoot without warning. His companion died after touching the wire, but Shin managed to escape by climbing over his body. And for the first time in his life, he found himself on the other side. Shin's story matters not only as a personal tragedy. This is one of the few examples of what a country looks like when prison camps become part of the system.